written by Kyle Harrison. Isn't that cool? Name's Bo. 3rd generation apple farmer here. And before you make a joke about how those don't fall far from the tree, let me tell you a few fun facts about apples that makes them the best fruit in the world. There are over 2,000 varieties harvested in the United States alone, and over 70,000 in the world. The Red Delicious, what my family grows, is the most widely distributed with over 62 million bushels harvested per year. Apple seeds contain amygdalin, a cyanogenic glycoside comprised of cyanide and sugar. When metabolized in the digestive system, this chemical degrades into highly poisonous hydrogen cyanide. A lethal dose of HCN can kill within minutes. On my family orchard, we have 2 acres of the Red Delicious. Each tree hand-picked when they are ripe and sold all across the Tri-County area. Usually the summertime is when we are making sure the trees are pruned back and kept free of bugs, in preparation for the fall harvest. Going out in the early morning with tools to check the soil and bug spray designed to kill ants and other pesky insects. Usually my day is not done until around 4 in the afternoon. It's a hot, sweaty, and exhausting job. But if we want to actually have a good harvest, it's a necessary one. Another problem we face is dead trees. This year has been an especially dry season for us here in Nebraska, which means that part of my day consists of digging up trees that are not going to come back. I found one such tree a few days back, over in the 2nd acre, and told one of our workers to bring the necessary equipment from the ranch. Shovels and ropes were all we needed. As I got closer to the tree, though, I couldn't help to notice that not only was the tree dead, but all of the apples seemed to have become rotten. I reached up and plucked one of the mushy fruits, placing it near my nostrils and immediately becoming disgusted by its foul odor. "What do you think it might be? Bacteria? Fungus?" Joey asked as we got back with 2 shovels and a bag of rope. I used my pocket knife and cut open the apple to take a look at the dark brown color that was twisting its way through the fruit. "Looks like worms of some kind. I'll get Dad to help identify the type." "Can you finish spraying the rest of these trees?" I asked. He nodded and got to work as I walked back through the orchard, looking at the peculiar organism that had ruined my crop. "Well, it ain't a coating moth, that's for sure," Dad admitted. "Do you think this could be the Turner boys again?" I asked. Long story short, we have some rivals a county over that have tried to mess with our farm before. Usually they do so by cutting down trees and starting small bushfires. But it wouldn't have surprised me to find out that they were trying to use this new worm to cause us problems. "We shouldn't jump to any conclusions, Bo. This could just be a change in the season," my old man told me. Wouldn't hurt to give them a friendly visit, though. Check and see if their orchard is also facing the same dilemma. "Bo, don't do anything stupid," Dad warned me. But I was already out the door with the apple in hand and jumping into the pickup truck. It took only about 20 minutes to make it to the Turner's place, and it looked like most of their workers were already filling up baskets of the Golden Delicious. The way they were able to keep their fruit being so sweet despite inclement weather often was why they were our bitter rivals. But this season it looked like they were experiencing a shortage as well. At least half the baskets were empty. "Well, if it's not Little Bo Peep," Russell, the oldest Turner boy, said as I parked my truck near their picket fence. "Hey, Russ, how you been?" I asked, slipping my hands into my pockets. "Well, I was doing great till you showed your ugly mug. What's up?" he asked as he paused to light a smoke. I reached into my satchel and took out the rotten apple, giving him a chance to examine it. Russell's face turned pale, and he spit out a cigarette, looking at the distorted fruit in shock. "Hell's teeth, I've never seen a bacteria like that before," he admitted. "Worms, actually. I thought I might come over and warn you. Your crops might be in danger too." "Not like anything I've seen before," I told him. Turner nodded, examining the brown mush in the middle of the fruit more carefully. As we both looked at it, to my surprise, it seemed like it was still alive and moving. Suddenly, the worm slithered towards Russ's hand, and he made a soft yelp as he dropped the apple. It splattered on the ground as I checked his finger. It looked like the worm had bit him. "What in the blazes is that thing?" he asked, rubbing the sore spot. "Wish I could say, but keep an eye out for more." I was a bit disappointed that it didn't seem like he was behind the outbreak. So, without much more investigating to do, I turned around and went back to our own farm. Midway down the highway, I had to pull over to let an ambulance scream by, and I briefly wondered where it might be heading. Then realized it was in fact turning towards our property. Shifting the pickup into gear, I followed up the road to see paramedics rushing into my house. "What's going on?" I asked as I jumped out of my truck. "We got a call about 10 minutes ago from a worker who said that their manager was unconscious and their airways seemed to be closed. And you are?" the closest technician asked. "That's my dad," I said as I saw they were taking him out on a stretcher with his face covered. I ran over and instinctively pulled back the sheet, but immediately regretted the decision. Something resembling the barnacles on a ship was covering my father's mouth, clogging up his airway and causing his throat to bulge on all sides. Clearly, some kind of organism had infected his body and quickly spread. "What happened?" I asked as I covered my mouth and turned to the workers who found him. "Can't say for sure, Bo. We was just showing the latest batch from Zone 1, and he started to act like he was choking the moment he chomped on an apple," one man said. I rushed inside to take a closer look at the bushel and quickly started to peel apart the red fruits. Much to my dismay, I was greeted with more of the strange bulbous worms. These clearly only in the larvae stage. "Where did you say you found these?" I asked. As the paramedics had me sign a few papers and told me they were taking my father's body to the local ME, I got my hired help to take me down to the trees where the fruit had been plucked to get a better view. The trees here didn't look diseased at all, but the soil was a different matter. Where ordinary green was meant to be, dark blotches of dead weeds and bare soil replaced it. "We need to get this whole area roped off. Don't let another soul get any apples out of this area, you hear?" I told them. Joey was a little shaken, as if he was holding something back. "Out with it," I said. "It's just that, well, after you left for the Turners, Mr. Riley showed up and your dad sold him a few bushels for the farmer's market on Sunday," Joey explained. My heart dropped, and I tried to remember where Riley lived, but I hadn't a clue. As I was bounding up the hill to try and find my dad's address book for all his vendors, my cell phone rang. Ian Turner. That was Russ's younger brother. "Bo, I don't know what the hell you did, but I got about 3 different trees with those damned worms, and now Russ is acting weird and can't seem to sit up straight." "Listen to me, Ian. Have you sent any of those bushels to market?" I asked, scrambling to think straight. "Yeah, about 20 bushels yesterday. All across the county, why?" Ian asked. I let the phone go dead and felt my heart sink as I realized our problem had just gotten a little bigger. Most of those bushels were often traded and spread to a wider area, even beyond Nebraska. I don't know if it will be possible to recover the apples now. So I'm asking you, for the love of God, don't eat any of them. Whatever this is, it's in the ground, in the trees, and it's spreading